terrifying facts that will save your life. There are people who are trained to abduct and erase your existence. Some criminal organizations hire specialists who can quickly erase all digital traces of a person. This can include removing them from records, social media, or even surveillance footage. These people are skilled in making you disappear completely out of the face of the earth. No traces left behind.
What? This is serious.
Lock down your online presence. This can include using strong passwords, encryption, or strong privacy settings. Always regularly monitor your digital footprints and be wary of what you do online. And always remove yourself from broker sites to prevent tracking or exploitation. If you're ever walking in a secluded or poorly lit area in the middle of the night and you start to feel an unsettling presence, do not look behind you. If you ever feel like someone is following you, chances are someone is. Always have an escape route in mind. This can include knowing where the nearest building and nearest populated area is. If you're ever in this situation, never ever show fear in the slightest. Walk confidently as if you're not alone. The more you act like a target, the more you will become one. If you ever find an item in your house that doesn't belong to you, do not touch it. This could be a sign that someone has been in your home while you weren't. Always act quickly. Do not try to look for any other signs or try to investigate. That one sign is enough. Lock all doors and windows, gather anything that is valuable or important, and leave immediately. This might seem harmless, but the longer you stay, the more vulnerable you are to whoever placed the item there. Stay safe.
Anyone tell me
That was
why
scary.
there are creatures on this planet that are completely not living by the laws of nature?
Okay, so cats will eat their own babies when they get sick. Ducks will eat each other if they get bored enough. Penguins will fuck the dead bodies of other penguins. Otters also fuck dead bodies, but not of the same species. Prosthesis monkeys will wiggle their dicks at each other because they think it's funny. And a dolphin will commit
That's
literally
funny.
any crime that you can think of without hesitation. So to everyone over the past year who commented humans have done all of these before, no shit, Sherlock. It's kind of the reason that laws against all of these behaviors exist, because we know that there's people that want to do them, and a lot of other people don't want them to do them, so we put things in place to tell them there's consequences for doing these things. So the point of the video was, why would you want to live in a world where people can do whatever they want with no guaranteed consequence? And some people thought it was a point worth bringing up, that people will still do these despite laws being in place, and it's like, no shit. That's why there's laws in place. The general goal behind societal laws is usually to make it so others can't take advantage of others. Recent years would have you think otherwise. Call your standard. Oh yeah, and people who commented that there was no penguin when I pointed at the penguin in my original video, are you blind?
Nope, we were never supposed to see this, as world-ending biblical structures are coming out of hiding and everything we know about religion and science is all changing. People were terrified after archaeologists in Turkey found archaeological evidence showing proof that the Bible is actually real and that the world
the Bible
could
is
face a
real.
supernatural biblical ending with the date potentially already set. The Bible mentions one of the last locations Noah's Ark was left in was Turkey, and after archaeologists went there, they were terrified to discover a 515 feet creepy structure that was identical to the Bible's Ark that was buried deep underground. With the terrifying 3D scan done on site, researchers were able to see an actual human-made boat under the ground, with marine equipment
This is
and food found inside, as well as several other internal measurements lining up exactly to what the Bible detailed, and even showing artifacts like rivet and petrified deck timber, which are only materials that were used to build boats in ancient times, making people terrified at how this would be documented otherwise in the Bible before scientists even knew this boat existed.
Witchcraft is through intercourse. You do not know who you're lying with, what they practice at home, what their parents practice at home, their family lineage. You don't have a clue. And for you to lie there with someone consistently, different person, day after day, do you know how much trauma
This is
and
really scary.
attacks and spiritual attacks that you are
It
gaining?
sounds true. It's so scary.
This is breaking news from around the world that you definitely have not heard of. In southern China, a perfectly preserved embryo was found inside a fossilized dinosaur egg. It dates back 72 to 66 million years ago and sheds light on the link between dinosaurs and modern birds. From head to tail, it measures 27 centimeters or 10.63 inches. NASA announced that its Parker Solar Probe was the first Minecraft to ever touch the sun. by flying through its corona or upper atmosphere. Here are images that it took that were transformed into a 13-second time-lapse of what it looks like on the surface.
Actually, I don't believe
First
this.
true millipede has just been discovered in Australia. Scientists named it Eumillipes persiphone and is said to live 200 feet underground, has no eyes, and 1,306 legs.
The devil is actually more comfortable hanging out in church than a bar. He was raised in a pretty holy place. He would prefer to go to church
Whoa.
than a witch hunt or a group of witches. He already has them. He's after the genius that God wants to manifest through his people. And actually, because if you manifest the wisdom and the life of God, actually somebody who doesn't know him, who's doing what you do, it draws them in.
The scariest bird sounds in the world. Shoebill.
Shoebill. Like a gun. This is crazy.
Lyrebird.
Lyrebird. Like a baby. A baby crying. Crazy. What?
Cassowary.
Cassowary. Cassowary. This is creepy. Yeah, this is so creepy. Looks nice. I like the color. So nice. The
Kookaburra.
patterns.
White bellbird.
It sounds so
This story
real.
comes out of Missouri. There was this man named Phil, and he said this one weekend, him and his wife decided to go camping in the Ozarks. They had this area that they would go to, which was a friend's property, and they had kind of set up like this cleared area where they could camp for the weekend. So they go there, they set up their tents and everything, and he's enjoying his time with his wife. Well, he said later that night they go to bed and they are in their tent when he just like has this really bad dream. And in the dream, there is something like running through the woods and it's chasing him. And he said all of a sudden this thing turns and it starts going after his wife. And then boom, he wakes up. And
You know,
said
for a
when
second,
he
I didn't
woke
see
up,
that skeleton
he looked
at
over
her side. I just saw
and his
her.
wife was gone. She wasn't in the tent. So he starts freaking out, like what's going on? Like, where's my wife? So he got up,
I just freaked out when I saw the
goes
skeleton,
outside
though.
of the tent, and he starts yelling for his wife. She's not responding. So he goes off in the woods, and he's looking around for her, yelling her name. And then in the corner of his eye, he sees something moving in the woods. So he goes in that direction, and there's his wife. And she's just standing in the woods, like looking up at the sky.
That's so
And
creepy.
So Philip is like, hey, what are you doing out in the woods? Like, you had me scared. Like, I thought something happened to you. And she's like, oh, everything's okay, honey. I was just outside catching some fresh air. And he's like, okay. Well, do you want to come back to bed? She said, yeah. So they go back to the tent and they go to sleep. And the rest of the camping trip, right, is fine. They go back home. Well, he said ever since that night, his wife was just kind of different. Like something was off about her. And he couldn't really explain it. But there was a slight change in her voice and a slight change in kind of her personality and her mannerisms. And every so often, she would look at him and give him kind of this weird smile.
What?
Just made him feel very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, yes, of course.
Well, he said one night, him and his wife, they go to bed, and they're just laying in the bed. And he said all of a sudden, his wife, her voice, like, changed. And she started saying, like, I'm gonna get you, Phil, I'm gonna get you.
What?
And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I'm gonna get you, I'm taking you back to the woods. And he's like, what's going on? And he said all of a sudden she jumped on top of him and started holding him down. And she was shaking him and up in his face, like yelling all kinds of swear words at him. And he said, like, he couldn't figure out how she had this much strength, because she normally wasn't like a very strong person. But she was fully holding him down. He couldn't get up out of bed. And
what?
He said all of a sudden, like, he pushed her and she kind of like fell backwards onto the bed. And he said the next thing he knows, he sees this light leave her body and then go out the hallway. He hears the front door open and then close. And this wind kind of just blew through the house. And then he said everything was silent. And his wife was like, what's going on, honey? And she was like normal again. And she was completely confused about what had happened, and she couldn't remember anything up to that point when they had went on the camping trip. And he felt like something had taken over his wife.